So in San Francisco, uh, places that we would always like plan to visit on P days and stuff like that would be Pier 39. That was a really fun place, especially during Christmas. There's a lot of activities going there. Um, uh, what's it called? Just like downtown San Francisco, all around. There's like um, an aquarium. There's this place, Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, and basically a ton of stuff that you can visit. Lombard Street, Chinatown, um, obviously the Golden Gate Bridge, and we visited that one a number of times, and so that was always fun. Taking trips as missionaries, kind of bonding time as we go around there and contacting people, because those places are just like clustered with people, and so you always have an opportunity to talk to somebody. Um, Kind of daily living there, we got around on bike or bus. And San Francisco is known for its hills. I mean, Lombard Street is the most crooked street in the world because it's on such a steep hill. They had to make it so crooked, and um, so I definitely worked out my legs on the bike when I was in San Francisco, and uh, I just remember thinking sometimes like, oh man, it's kind of difficult, like trudging along, uphill, but then downhill. I felt like, oh my goodness, off the mission, I'm totally gonna get a motorcycle, but uh, I remember thinking, man, why can't we just have like a car or some, like, if only we could like fly or something. But I felt like it really taught me, I'm like working to get to this lesson for this one person. It really helped me remember my purpose. I guess kind of like in a awkward way, or an unusual way rather. Um, but yeah, I always thought of like going along with my bike as like, wow, I'm going somewhere like physically to. I'm working to get to someone's house. Um, we got our own bus as a lot as well. We got cards from the money we were getting, and we would contact people there all the time because there's people on the bus, and depending on the languages too, you would see on the bus ads there'd be an English one, Spanish translation, and a Mandarin translation. And even when it says like there's announcements on the bus, it would say English, Spanish, and Mandarin. So like there's a ton that just goes to show that you know there's a ton of different kinds of people there, and we got a chance to practice our Mandarin a little bit. And there's this, and San Francisco is kind of known to be pretty wild, I guess. There's a lot of liberal thinkers there, and so there's a lot of like innovative kind of people. Um, I remember when we were coming home from taking an investigator to the visitor center, the Giants were playing in the World Series. It was the last game, and they won. It was in 2012. And the member who was taking us home, we had already dropped off the investigator, was keeping track on his phone. And once the Giants won, there's this huge uproar all over the city. People poured out onto the streets, and it took us a long time to get home. And we found out later that they had started fires up along this street called Mission Street, and they were just like creating such a huge celebration. So that kind of helps visualize, I guess, how wild San Francisco can get. But there's definitely a lot of people who can use the word in San Francisco. Yes, San Francisco would probably be the most diverse. San Francisco and Oakland, those two cities. Getting out of there, you kind of like start to get to more just one type of people. Or most people have like kind of respect for religious affiliation. So we even though there was a lot of crime, I mean, we still had to be safe. We still locked up our bikes, we still didn't stay out, past dark too much, and careful where you go in the city, in your area. But for the most part, people just kind of like saw us and like, oh, those are the people of God. Don't mess with them, kind of thing. So we didn't feel too oppressed or too worried about that. The gay parade, that was pretty wild. Also, we didn't go obviously to like that area. We were restricted. We were told, hey, stay away from these areas, missionaries. But on the subway, it's called the BART system. On the BART, there was a lot of people you could tell were going to the gay parade. So that, and also celebrations from winning the World Series twice. So